So welcome to the team call, guys. And today the topic, I think most of you are aware, is kind of how to nail a power hour. And I thought it'd be it's a really timely topic. Like last week we went through how to set goals, how to invite, how to set up your challenge group, exactly what to say in an invite, or certainly what I'm saying, to just really help guide those of you guys that perhaps kind of aren't really there yet in terms of how to start those conversations. And I know, that thing in itself can absolutely paralyze you, and it can just cause the worst procrastination, which I know for many of us is something that absolutely holds us back from moving our business forward. And so we sit down and we think we're working our business, and actually we've procrastinated for like 10 minutes over who we should invite. And it really shouldn't be that way, and it doesn't need to. And I think the more that we can put ourselves under immediate small time pressures, the more that it's going to call you out on that procrastination. And certainly, like when I started to put like time blocks in, that's when I really started to just see my business completely change. So that's why I wanted to just do a power hour with you guys today, to really show you like how quickly you can get that stuff done. And I know, we're in lockdown, a lot of us right now, but when you go back to work, if we can start implementing this stuff, you can see that this absolutely does work if you work full time, and it should work if you work full time. And certainly when I started, Arthur was in nursery 2 mornings a week. He was 18 months old. I was a new PT and fitness instructor. I was working golf hours in the gym to try and earn as much money as I could to really cover my share of our mortgage outgoing, whilst drive my PT and fitness instructor business forward. And that, I can tell you, was stressful, but I still found at least an hour a day that I crammed this in to push my business forward. And so I know a lot of the time people look at me and they think, well, it's okay for Izzy because she now like does this full time, but I definitely didn't start that way. And I wouldn't have got the momentum to take me to that place if I hadn't worked out how to work in really small time blocks and really be like disciplined. So before we go into power hour, there's just a couple of things that I'm going to mention, just kind of noteworthy items, I suppose. Hopefully you guys have seen in the team page that we have a Success Club competition again this month, and I am going to give £50, $50 or 60 Canadian for Sweaty Betty or Lululemon vouchers for anybody, whether or not you're in my immediate downline or you're someone else's downline. I will give that to you if you hit Success Club, because I feel like that extra incentive is really helping you. And certainly from, all of the national wake up calls, at the moment, we have the best opportunity we have ever had with this business. Okay. And so if that's going to help you go for it, then I'm going to do that, because I know I've got people in this team who can absolutely smash that. So I'm really pleased to offer that out. And I know it's super fun for you guys. So hopefully that will kind of help you along. I also wanted to let you guys know that personally, I am investing in the Elite Push group that Josh Coates runs, and he runs it. Josh Coates wrote F Leadership. I'm not going to swear on here in case they're kids, but essentially he runs them every 6 months or for a 6-month period, and they are for 30 people in each 6-month period, and they're for people within the Beachbody business who are ready to go next level, ready to push for elite. And as a result of me investing in that, he's going to help us with team trainings. And so I just wanted to say, get ready, because this is going to force me to level up. It's going to push me out of my comfort zone. It's going to get me working with other leaders where I am. So if you want to run, get ready to run. Okay. So I'm really excited about that. And I'm really excited to bring that into the team, and bring that energy. He's if you haven't listened to his book, he is, or seen any of his trainings, he's just got the most phenomenal energy. And that is the key to his business, as we all know. So that's really exciting. So without kind of wasting any more time, I'm just going to check the chat box quickly. Yeah, it's really exciting. And I'm going to be running little push groups, which I'm just getting into the finer details on. So I'm going to be asking you guys to show proof of doing your vital behaviors, completing your business activity tracker. And for those of you guys that are doing that, I'm going to offer out a mentorship with me where you're going to get weekly calls, but I'm going to need to see that. So hopefully this call is going to help you get into that mindset, because as I said, those of you who want to run, it's time to go, and I'm going to do it with you. So let's start. So hopefully you've got the business activity tracker in front of you. If you haven't, I totally understand. I think a lot of us don't have printers. And if I'm being perfectly honest, right now I have put additional boxes on my business activity tracker because my printer hasn't arrived yet. So I am still using it and it's just looking very cluttered. And for those of you guys who are perfectionists, you'd probably freak out at how much mess my business activity tracker looks like. So yeah, like, and if you've got it like digitally, that's totally cool. But I'm just going to chat you through what we're going to do. So what we're going to do is really run through kind of as much as we can of the central part of that tracker, right? We're obviously not going to do our workouts right now, and we're not going to drink our Shakeology, okay? So we're going to initiate connections and followers. And I'm just going to chat you through really quickly how we're going to do that. And I'm going to set a timer for 5 minutes, okay? And you're probably thinking, well, Izzy, well, what the hell can I get done in 5 minutes? Well, it's crazy what you can get done in 5 minutes when you're under a timer. Okay, so what you're going to do, and if you haven't got an account in mind for this, please don't worry, but just think about this moving forward. You're going to go to an account that you are drawn to, that is not a Beachbody coach, that is somebody that resonates with who you are, okay? And that is your kind of person, okay? And if you don't know who that is, I would strongly advise that you spend probably tomorrow morning, like 20 minutes, just looking at accounts, like who are my kind of people? And you save their accounts, okay? I screenshot them, okay? So you're gonna go into that account and you are going to comment on their latest picture or whichever one you relate to and like a few pictures. Okay. And then you're going to go into their followers and you're going to look at their followers. You're not going to spend a great deal of time doing this, guys. This is very much what Coach Jace teaches, and it's how I build connections, and it absolutely works for me. So you're going to look at their little circle picture, and really quite quickly you are going to scroll through and you're going to follow. Now I need to be really careful here because Instagram, if you've got a newer account, will block you, and that's really not the aim of the game here today. Certainly not. You're going to follow, like, hopefully you guys do this already. If you do it already, you're probably going to know how many people is okay for you to follow in a day or in a short period of time, but I would probably advise like 20 just for the sake of this 5-minute piece. Okay, you're going to follow 20 accounts within their follower list, because obviously if you like their accounts and you go into their followers, they're likely to be similar as well. Okay, so that's the idea. You're going to go and follow 20 of those accounts, and then you're, of those 20 accounts, you're going to comment on 5 of them. You're going to go in and comment, and then you're going to go back into your main feed, right, where you see people's new posts, and you're going to like, I'm going to say 15 pictures, just so that we've kind of covered the base. If you've got a newer account, I don't want to get you temporarily blocked. Okay, I'm going to set the timer. So we're going to do that for 5 minutes. Okay, so somebody just asked me a question before I set the timer. Is a celebrity or an influencer okay? Yes, like go for it. If they have like hundreds of thousands of followers, that probably isn't an account to go and follow their followers, only because they are probably going to be a lot of fake accounts in there. Although that being said, you'll probably, you know, if you're scrolling, you'll probably find some real ones. You can generally spot the fake ones. They've got like no picture and they've got really weird Instagram handle names. Okay, so I'm going to set the timer for 5 minutes. 3, 2, 1. And please don't think about it too much, right? Think about it too much and you're not going to get it done in the time. Okay, off we go. And any questions, do just pop them in the chat box as you go. Okay, and if you're wondering who to follow, don't wonder who to follow, just take action. You've got 1 minute and a quarter. Okay, I'm going to give you another 30 seconds. You should find that putting yourself on a timer makes you take so much more action, so much faster. Okay, 20 seconds to go. You've still got enough time to write a few comments for sure. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, hopefully you noticed how much more action you took. Yeah. So that, you know, we're not going to go through any of this section that's update Facebook, IG, okay? Because that generally, guys, I'll just tell you how I do that. I just do it as I go through my day, right? And maybe if you work full time, you're going to have to take little video clips to post as you go through the day, which is fine. But you know, like daily life, you can just post whatever workout clips. You're just going to take 2. Like if you're a new coach, just 2 is fine. Like you don't need to worry about doing any more than that. And that's just video to your face, like turn the camera to you and record and then edit and post. Like it doesn't need to take a long time. Product use, okay, so whenever you're having your Shakeology, you're just going to post that. Yeah, if people with private profiles look promising, yeah, go for it. You're less likely to get a follow back, but you know, absolutely, I do that. Talking about your boot camp and your stories, clearly you can just, that will take you 3 minutes, doesn't need to take long. Okay, the next thing that we're going to do is we're not going to draft your post because that will take probably about 15 minutes, and I'm not going to use that on this power hour because that's kind of the creative piece. But you want to leave yourself about 15 minutes to draft a post, okay, and to get that post up. Responding to all new likes, comments, or views. What you're going to do now, okay, is we're going to pick stories, okay? You're going to go into stories and you're going to look at your story watchers. And what I generally do when I go into my story watchers, like a lot of these guys will be the case for all of you, is that people have been following you or been watching your stories for blimmin' ages. But I always go and check in the last time I had a conversation. So I'll just go in, I'll have a look. If I haven't chatted to them for over a week or 2, I might just drop them a message and say, hey, thanks for keeping up with my stories. Was this of interest? Because usually if they're watching my stories and they've been watching for ages, I've invited them to something. Okay, so that's something I use quite a lot. Obviously, if you've already asked that question, you're not going to ask them again. I've got my sneak peek coming up, which incidentally, you guys do invite whoever you want into that. It's on Thursday the 14th. I've shared the link on the team page. So if you've got someone interested in the business opportunity or someone who you think would be a great coach, don't worry about it if you're a newer coach, okay? When I was a newer coach and I thought someone would be good at the business, I was just sending them an invite. I'm just going to share mine here because this is a place where if you're going into your story watchers, you may well be sending invites as well, okay? This is how I do it. So this is just an example. A lot of you guys will have heard this invite already. Like nothing's changed in terms of the way that I invite. So Cindy, I actually wanted to reach out because I've been looking at your profile and thought you could be amazing as a wellness coach. I'm hosting my live May coach info group all about it on Thursday, the 14th of May, and wondered if you'd like me to add you to it to learn more, question mark. Please don't worry. If not, I just wanted to ask because I thought you could be great at it. Izzy. Okay, so hopefully you guys have got something like that saved in your drafts. It's obviously something I've run through before, but what I do is literally so that I don't miss anybody, and this bit takes me longer. Like you can imagine, I've been a coach for 2 years, my following's grown, like I might have over 300 people watching my stories at once. So that takes me a good deal longer. But what you're going to do is you're going to strategically go into those people watching your stories, see where you left that last conversation, and ask them a question, ask them if it's of interest, invite them to something new. If you've got a virtual gym about to set up, let them know about it, you know, and invite them. So in terms of the virtual gym invite, I'm just going to share mine in case you guys haven't got one drafted quickly. So hold on. Let's just find my invite, which I've saved in here somewhere. Nope, it's not that one. No, I can't find it. Hey, how are you? Oh no, that's not the one. Hold on one second. Where's it gone? Okay, hey, how are you? Thanks for liking my transformation pic. That's on a like, but it will be thanks for keeping up with my stories. My virtual gym for this was May kicks off in prep week next week. Let me know if you want details. We're having a lot of fun, and I'm so excited to do this boxing and strength training program again with some more ladies. So I wanted to extend the invite, Izzy. Okay, so that's just what I'm writing. So what you're going to do, I'm going to set the timer. We're going to do this for 7 minutes, okay, till 6:30. You're going to go through your story watchers. And if you haven't invited them, or you invited them historically and they've said they'd be interested, but maybe in the future, and they're still watching your stories and you haven't reached out to them in about 10 days, you're going to re-invite them, okay? You're either going to invite them to the coach opportunity or you're going to invite them to the boot camp. Obviously, if you've been having ongoing conversations, you can say something like, thanks so much for keeping up with my stories. You know, I know we spoke about this in the past. Was it something that you were wanting to do still? Yeah. So I'm going to set the timer. 3, 2, 1, go. And any questions, just let me know. Okay. So the story watchers, honestly, they are the most interested, particularly if they're watching them regularly. If you have reached out to them within the last week, though, please don't message them because they'll feel a bit harassed probably. Any questions, just please pop it in the chat box. You've still got another 4.5 minutes. Still got 3 minutes, guys. If you're doing loads of thinking, just send the message. Okay, if you've finished with your story watchers, go into your people who've liked your recent post or people who followed you. Okay. Right, let's stop there. Okay. And then what you're going to go and do, if you haven't done it already today, is you're going to go into the most recent post you did, and you're going to look at the people who liked your post, and you're going to go and like their stuff back for sure. And you're going to engage with them, like whether or not it's a new conversation. So new conversations, I generally always send the same thing. So, hey, thanks so much for liking my recent post or following me back. I really appreciate it. I'll often say like, I love your page, or if there's something about their page that I like, or they've got a kid and I, relate to it, I'll say something along those lines. And then you're going to ask a question. You always ask a question. Don't ever expect to send a message without a question and get a reply. Okay, so you're going to ask a question. So you're going to say, are you on a fitness journey too? If you can't see that they are, right? And if they are, don't ask them if they're on a fitness journey too. Just say, how long have you been on your fitness journey? Or if you've got something else that you send and you're happy with, by all means use that, but that's what I used. And we're just going to set the timer, okay, for 5 minutes on those. Okay, and again, if it is a situation where you've had a conversation, they're ready for another invite, send them an invite. Yeah, exactly. That's how fast you can send invites. I send about 30 invites in about 20 minutes, if that. Yeah. Yeah, well done, Elaine. I think this is when we start to realize that we need to raise the bar on the invite number in the day because of how quickly the invites don't take long at all. Well done, Amy. Perfect. Exactly. Take the emotion out of it and just hit send. You never know who needs it. Yeah, putting a timer on it will stop your emotions. Seriously, that's what I do. You've actually got loads of time. If you want a voice clip as well, guys, do voice clip if that works for you. Three more minutes. 2 minutes to go, guys. And make sure you respond to people's comments on your posts if there are any as well. Okay, you've got another minute, guys. Okay, we're going to stop now. Okay, next bit you're going to do, this actually isn't on the bat and it really should be. You're going to go into your followers list and you're going to check who's new following you that you haven't messaged. And I'm going to give you 3 minutes this time. And you're going to go through and definitely, if you haven't messaged them, you're going to send them a message. Thank you so much for the follow. I really appreciate it. Similar to like the like or story watcher message, like, are you on a fitness journey too? How long have you been on your fitness journey? So thank, compliment. So give them a compliment, question, thank, compliment, question. Yeah, really good way to get interaction back. Okay, 3 minutes, off we go. Any questions, let me know. A way to filter new followers. You can put, no, I don't think so, but I think the ones at the top will be the newest. I think that's the way it works. That's what I seem to recognize. Yeah. Okay, 1 more minute, guys. Might be enough. This message, I just generally copy and paste and edit as required. Yeah, so much quicker. Let me give you another 20 seconds. No, do not follow accounts with no pictures on back. I wouldn't. I'd block them. That's what I do. Okay. Right, so the time is up on that. And the final thing you're going to do, so hopefully in this process, you will have done quite a lot of invites, okay? Because if they're new ones, hopefully, or they're conversations you've had already, you've sent them an invite. So what we're going to do for the next, we are going to do another 8 minutes, okay? And this block is going to require, if you've got a tracking system, and we did a whole call on tracking systems a couple of weeks back, I'm hoping you have got tracking system. If you're a newer coach, it might just be pen and paper. You are going to go and find your follow-ups, okay? And you are going to do, you can split that time however you want, but you are going to follow up with people that you need to follow up with today, okay? If you don't have a tracking system, you're probably going to find the conversations in Instagram, but I would really recommend very strongly that you get a tracking system ASAP. Otherwise, you're just wasting your time. You're going to follow up, and any people that you have that you want to invite, if you've made a list from the day before, which is what I do with those new connections that I make, where I'm asking them if they're on a fitness journey too, and it's a new conversation, those names go onto an A4 piece of paper with today's date, and the following day I invite them, whether or not they've replied. That's where my invites come from, okay? So we're going to start the timer. Off we go. I make sure I follow people back, Shannon, for the most part, if I'm going to message them, because I find it's a bit mean if I haven't followed them back and I'm thanking them for following me and I haven't followed them back. Yeah, if someone else is friends with them who is also a coach, I wouldn't invite them. Definitely not if they're on this team or in the downline. That can cause like tricky situations. Yeah, that's exactly what I said. If another coach is following them, I'd maybe have a conversation with that other coach, because they would usually be having a conversation with them, I should think. Okay, what, another 5 minutes, guys? For those that have joined, we're on an 8-minute timer and we're doing invites and follow-ups. We're doing an action hour. Okay, I'm going to give you another 3 minutes. If you've got questions, just pop them in the chat box. Okay, 1 more minute. I track as I go. So I use Streak and I track as I go. So I have my Streak open and I do this. I don't like to do anything without Streak in front of me because I feel like it's not a business if I'm not going to track it. Okay, we're going to stop there, but hopefully you guys can see, right? If you look at the business activity tracker, if you've got it in front of you, in what, gosh, how long was that? Like maybe 35 minutes. We've initiated connections and added followers. We have responded to all new likes, comments, and views. And we've invited people and we followed up, which really is, if you look at that business activity tracker and you break it down, all you then need to do is your social media post, which if you work full time, you can hopefully find some time or even in the evening to draft your post, find a picture. You work out in your Shakeology, I can only assume you've already done that first thing in the morning. And then you're contributing to your challenge group. Again, I try to do that in the morning. And the rest you can just do as you go through your day. They don't need that required concentration. But can you see that wasn't even an hour? And touch wood, most of you have probably got most of your stuff done. Like it depends. Like if you've got more established businesses, I'll be honest, it's going to take you 2 hours. Okay. It just depends as you build. And this is why this business is built on initially an hour, and then it builds, your following grows, you build connections, you know, it will start to build if that's indeed is the way that you want it to go. If you always want this to be a side hustle, you can do it as a side hustle always. But can you see how popping those timers in changes everything? And it really called me out when I started doing this. And I know like all of the top coaches do it, right? And it kind of, you're like, okay, got to get to work now. And you just don't have time to think about it, which half the time when I get messages, you know, and this has been me too, from you guys saying, I don't understand, Izzy, how you can send 40 invites in 20 minutes. It's because you're thinking too much about it. You just need to take action and take the emotion out. And honestly, if it's for that person, they're going to reply. And if it's not, they're not. And don't worry about it. It's not going to be for everyone. People are going to unfollow you. People unfollow me. I don't care. They're not my people. I don't want them in my team. I don't want them in my challenges. Okay. Has anyone got any questions on that? Is there anything that was like, please just pop them in the chat box or unmute yourself.
Is there a point in messaging anybody with other companies that are like, I know like Arbonne and all that stuff? Because I find like I just end up getting into like back and forth, like she's trying to sell me on it and I'm trying to sell her on it. Like,
I honestly do, because I have quite a lot of girls that have come from Arbonne who are coaches, but quite a lot of girls that have come from Arbonne. I had a girl, little 19-year-old from California, and on this week, she's with Arbonne. She loves Arbonne as a coach, but she was like, help me with the workouts, help me with, I want to try that superfood. So honestly, I do. And I don't think there's a right or wrong here. Like, you'll find coaches that will not message other network marketers. But I kind of feel like if they're liking my stuff and they're watching my stories, that they're interested in what I'm doing. Yeah. I think you have to be careful. Like, I'm never like, oh, well, Beachbody's better than da, da, da. Like, I'm very like understanding the fact that they're probably loving what they're doing, and I'm just striking up conversation. So it's not like I'm better than you, like I'm annoyed, it's just the tone, right? And what I would love to know from you guys, and this is like, please give me your feedback on this. Tasha, focus thinking is so different. Time blocking is really magic. Yeah, but you will learn to type faster. This is what happens. And also copy and paste and edit the message. When I have my Shannon, don't worry too much. You're brand new. I have my tracking system. Don't worry too much. You're brand new. For now, an Excel spreadsheet, I'm sure Charlotte will chat you through that because she's doing it. Don't worry about it. What I would love to know from you, and voice clip works really well. Charlotte did a leadership live actually the other day, and she has had phenomenal success through building relationships and voice clipping. And I think you've got to go with what works for you. And I'll be honest, voice clips to start with are going to scare the living shite out of you. You're going to be crap at them to start with, and you're going to build confidence, and then you'll get better. So try voice. You can always delete an Instagram. You can always delete and go again. Just go for it. Like, honestly, the more you push yourself into your fear, the more you're going to grow, and the more you're going to really surprise yourself with your results, and how you're able to help people. What I would love to know from you guys, like, please comment, please unmute yourself. I really need this from you. What do you feel right now that you really lack in terms of able to push your business forward? What do you need more training on? What would you like to see in a call? Please just be honest, because I'm here to help. What do you really need help with? Because otherwise,
sorry, can I just come in? I am okay with the inviting, but then when people start coming back, and like I've had 2 people already have come back to say that they're interested in joining my next virtual gym, I don't know what to send them because I've got so much information, but I don't want to overwhelm them.
Yeah. And that's a really good point. And I remember that, it's like, you don't want to word vomit on them, right? Because then if you word vomit on them, then they run away. Last week, I don't know if you were on the call or you caught up, but I can send it to you for sure. I did a call on exactly what I say. So what I do, and this is something again that you can try to do yourself. I've been really successful recently with when people ask for more details, and I know this is exactly what Charlotte's been doing. She asks them if they're okay to receive some voice clips. Are you okay if I send some voice clips? And essentially, and I'm just share it in here in case you don't watch the recording, because it is working really well for me, and I think it's working well for others. I break down, so if it's a challenge group, first of all, if they want more details, like, I don't know what you're inviting them into season, but I'm just going to share what I'm doing. So I try to fit it into 4 voice clips, okay? And I'm going to be honest, I don't speak the slowest when I send them, because I don't want to blow their messenger up with 6 1-minute voice clips, because they're going to look at it and go, no thanks, love. So what I do is I break it down, and you could do this in text, but I feel like it would look way too long. So number 1, I voice clip because they can hear my enthusiasm. They can hear I'm being genuine. They can really get a feel for what it is I'm doing. So I break it down to, so thanks so much for saying you're fine with voice clip. It's so much easier for me to explain, what it all entails in voice clips. So you get 3 things: fitness, nutrition, and community. So the first thing is absolutely incredible. You get your own encrypted login to a platform of over 60 complete master trainer device programs. There's over 1,800 workouts, and there's something for everyone: beginner, intermediate, or advanced. The program we're following in my virtual gym is the newest of those 60 programs. It's a brand new boxing and strength training program, 5 days a week, 30 minutes a day, and 2 rest days. You go from 1 day of boxing technique to 1 day of strength training. Don't worry, I have 2 left feet. I really didn't know how to box when I started doing this. But the idea is you just log into that platform whenever works for you. If you've got a super busy day, you just log in and off you go. And it's a completely progressive program, hence why we get such amazing results. And then in the post, so like I move from the fitness and I move on to the post, okay? And I'm thinking about what I get in the box, okay? So which helps me remember everything. So, and then in the post, you get the most phenomenal package. You get a nutrition guide, which runs alongside and supports you according to whichever program you're choosing, you and your goals. And it's all about abundant, healthy eating. It isn't about diets. It's not about cutting out food groups. And I know for me, when I started doing these programs, that was an absolute game changer, because of course there are so many, you know, people out there offering fitness programs and it's 20% of it. And this offers the total solution. And it's, I absolutely swear by it. You also get your workout calendar. Sounds super basic, but it is amazing to pop it on the wall and tick it off as you go. And your resistance bands for that amazing new program. And then the most incredible thing of all is the 30-day supply of superfood. It is a completely natural whole product. There isn't any crap in it, and it is not a meal replacement. It is chock full of over 40 different micronutrients. They're generally micronutrients that as a modern society we don't get in the modern diet, and it's the reason why we crave sugar. And when we crave sugar, we feel lackluster. We can't push through these fitness programs and we reach for more sugar. So that for me was a complete game changer. And I know it's been a game changer for my girls, and it's why we get these incredible results, because it's the total solution. But my most favorite thing of all is the community. And this is usually like the third voice clip. My global community are from the UK, US, and Canada. We all check in and connect, and you can engage in that group as much or as little as you want. But for me, when I started, I know it was the accountability I needed. It's an uplifting group where you're not judged, and there are daily check-ins. People post their workouts and nutrition tips, and I'm even doing a mindset challenge right now. So for all of that, everything I've described, that year-round access to that platform, everything in the post, and that community for life, what you get for all of that, or rather what I'm going to say was, for all of that, it's a one-time cost of $160. My virtual gym started on Monday, because my virtual gym did start on Monday. So if you want to join me, let me know as soon as you can. Any questions, let me know. And that's what I send. And it seems to be working really well. Now, I know not for all of you, like you're going to want to send voice clips, but I think the challenge is that if you send it in text, it's going to be an awful lot of text.
I think that's what I've found, is that I end up typing in, it feels like an essay or a dissertation sometimes.
Yeah.
And it puts people off because they don't want to read it all. And then I've tried to summarise it on like a one-pager PDF to send to them, but it just doesn't come across.
Because they can't hear your enthusiasm and your passion. Yeah. And this it's similar if you think about the business opportunity. Like some coaches have produced sort of a page of what it is. And whilst it looks beautiful and it looks really professional, I don't do that. And I don't do that because I want people to see me, because people aren't buying into the program. They're buying into you and your enthusiasm. They can't get that if they can't hear you, or they can't see you. Like the best position to be is to see you. Like I'm not sending video clips. Like I think that even for me would be a bit much. Yeah, so hopefully that helped.
Can I just say as well, if people are scared of doing voice notes, bullet point what you want to say in the voice note, because I'm notorious for word vomit and getting carried away because I'm really passionate about it. But I've now got a piece of paper where if someone said they're interested in joining my cyber gym and I've said, is it okay if I send you some voice notes to explain, and then they say yes, I've got a piece of paper with like 5 bullet points on, and so it keeps me like on track, so I know what I'm saying and I know when to leave it. So because when I first started sending voice notes, I sent 6, and then I was like, oh, that looks really bad. So now I just send 2 or 3, and then if they're interested, then I send them a couple more, and that's when I tell them how to sign up and everything like that. So if that helps anybody, and if you've got it written down, it stops you getting as nervous, because you just think, right, this is what I've got to say, and then you say it and then you just leave it and forget about it. So that helps me, if that helps anyone else.
And I think that's absolutely right. Like for me, obviously, like sometimes I forget. I remember what it is off the top of my head because I've done it for so long, right? And for you guys who are newer, yeah, having a list is going to be really important. So thanks, Charlotte, for that. And the other thing that I would say that's going to give you confidence with that, when you're like, oh, and then people ask me and I don't know what to say, I would say the reason why you don't know what to say is because you're not confident in what you're offering them, i.e. you haven't got a challenge group start date, you haven't had a challenge group running, you haven't had the visuals going through your stories, and you haven't been talking about it. And so then when people ask you, you're like, well, what do I say? Because what am I inviting them into? Do I have anything to invite them into? And this is why owning your own challenge group is crucial, absolutely crucial, because then you start to put your stamp on it, you start to own it, and you start to love it. And I'll be honest, when I started running challenge groups, I bloody hated it. But my coach was like, Izzy, you've got to like run your own, because you're not going to take that ownership and you're not going to enjoy it as much, because it's not on you and it's not your thing. So thank you for all those comments in the chat box, and definitely like I can do a power hour like every other team call. I just wonder whether you would want a call on overcoming objections. Would that be useful? We can maybe do that next week. Yeah, because overcoming objection, I think a lot of the time, and this again was something I did when I was new, people are like, no, I'm not interested, thanks. I'm like, okay, no worries. Why did I say no worries? Like, I'll always ask why they're not interested. So, and then I'll get to the root of the matter, and then I'll overcome the objection. So I think what we can do maybe next week is just untie that. And what I did want to say, and this is available to everyone, like anyone who wants to do this, is, as I said at the opening of this call, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be opening a mentorship group, which is open to anybody, as long as you fulfill the parameters, okay? And likely, I need to get the finer details down on paper, but probably what I'm going to ask you to do is submit 2 weeks of business activity trackers to see that you guys are staying consistent and that you deserve to be in that group. And that will be a continuous requirement of the group. But in return for seeing that you guys are doing that work, I will offer a once weekly call for anybody that makes that parameter in a group call, which will be additional to this, because I know we've got so many people here who want this, and I know it's like a case of getting this consistent stuff in place to see that move forward. So I just need to like get around all the details of that this evening, but I will be announcing that, and that's open to anybody. Yeah, okay, I'm glad it was useful. So the announcement about COVID is coming up, so let's get the boomerang done. For us in the UK, we've got a big government announcement. I think we probably all want to watch it. So I'm just going to stop recording. Okay, yeah, I know it is. Right.